arrest, the one at Rivers and Elder. We had one on Ozark. We had the 3 on the 1st, which are on Ventura, Niagara, and Aintree, and then one last night in Ashley Shores. We have made arrests in 3 of those incidents as a result of the investigations. 2 were by car stops shortly after the incidents, and we recovered the guns as well. So it has been an eventful start to the 2014. We have the community support behind us, and we are still continuing to ask for community support in that they cooperate with us and lead us into the areas where we need to be as far as evidentiary collection goes and statements. But really, what this boils down to is we started the new year off with several shootings, but this is a daily endeavor, not only for this police department, but for this community. And it is important for us to work together as partners to solve crimes and to get the criminal element out of our neighborhoods so we can live the types of lives that we're supposed to live in this great nation of ours. So bottom line, it is not just us working on solving these crimes. It is the community and us as partners working to solve these crimes. And we can't do it without them, and they can't do it without us. So it is a partnership that we are looking forward to continuing and fostering. We have met with community leaders before all this because it's important for us to meet and have an understanding and know each other before all this takes place, so that when something like this does take place, we can be united in our efforts and move to solve crimes very quickly for the people that live in those areas. We have boots on the ground. We have worked with Charleston County Sheriff's Office. We have worked with the city. We have worked with SLED on this situation. We have boots on the grounds as we speak in these areas where we are in these areas collecting information, gaining information, getting to know the people in these areas, and asking for them to continue to cooperate with us until we can bring every person involved in these crimes to justice. And that's where we are.
Does the fact that you had 2 innocent mothers murdered up the ante?
Harv, anytime you mess with somebody's mama, I would imagine it does up the ante. That's something we all have in common. And the police department grieves for the families that are involved in this, but you have to understand that we're doing everything we can to bring these people to justice. Make no mistake about it. We will make an arrest in these cases.
Chief, local ministers have asked SLED to get involved to aid in investigation. Is that something that the North Charleston Police Department is open to?
SLED does assist us. Everybody has a role in this. When we are doing any investigation, SLED is involved with analyzation of evidence. SLED is involved and works hand in hand sometimes on special operations when we pull them on after things like that happen. So SLED is involved. The Charleston County Sheriff's Office is involved. The city is involved. If it stretches to Mount Pleasant, they get involved. But as a part of that team process, everybody is involved with it. We are the investigating agency. I've got some of the best detectives in the world, in South Carolina, if not the world, working at this police department that are more than capable of arresting people. And it has nothing to do with me taking pride and not opening up to other agencies. We have opened up to other agencies. And they are assisting us as needed.
Manpower-wise, they were concerned about if you guys had enough manpower. Are you secure that there is enough manpower to handle all these investigations?
Yes, sir. We have been working with the sheriff's office, the city, and right now we've got boots on the ground. We've got a contingency that is in these areas. Like I said, getting to better know the community, getting to recognize who the criminal element that is living in these areas, and then getting the support of the community. We've got people looking them in the eyeballs and telling them that we are concerned about them, and expecting them. Expecting is the key word. I noticed in the paper today, whoever wrote the word victory, that's a pretty important word, and it's not very much used in the English language anymore. But that was a very important statement made today in the newspaper where they talked about victory. It was a victory for the East Side, for somebody to stand up for the rights that they have in the United States and to do the right thing but for their community. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for people in this community to stand up, take charge of their own lives, and do the right thing for the betterment of their community. And hopefully we're going to continue to get better at that.
Chief, how do you calm the nerves of folks that live in these neighborhoods that are fearful of their lives if they do come forward and pass along a tip or pass on some information?
You know, I'm not going to tell you that it's a lot easier said than done. I can sit here and say, and it is very easy for me to sit here and say, we need to do the right thing. It's a lot tougher to do the right thing, and I understand that, and we understand that, and we would do everything we can and do everything we can. We've got tip lines, we've got lines that they can call and be anonymous. We do everything we can to protect them. Even if they come forward, we do everything we can to protect them. What I can say is that we're in those areas now, and we're going to stay in those areas. We took a stand here in North Charleston not long ago in one area, and we're taking stands in these areas to make sure, and we want the community to stand with us, shoulder to shoulder, and we can't not get rid of the criminal element in those areas if we're working that way. That's the important thing. Is everybody needs to take a stand in order to make a change.
You talked about having boots on the ground. Can you talk about the kind of patrols you have in some of these hot areas, the actually short areas? Are there increased patrols or car patrols, foot patrols? Give us an indication of what we're seeing.
We have specifically people in there. The intelligence-led policing are in there. The GET team, which is the gang team members, are in there. And we are working with patrol units are in there. We've got PACE in there. We've got saturation in there. We've got our speed team units that are in and out the areas. So every division on this police department is focused on making those people in those areas feel comfortable about their surroundings. And we're going to make a stand in those areas and continue to stand in those areas to where the public can realize that we're in those areas to stay and want their cooperation.
Chief, you mentioned the GET team, the gang team. Are we seeing gangs in North Charleston? Is this part of the problem? Or?
For these shootings that we're talking about now, no. And let me elaborate on that just a minute. We believe the 3 shootings on the first are related. We have no indication at all that this is an organized gang-related issue that is involved in all of the shootings that we have had. And I say that again. There's no correlation that we have found in the investigations that say they are gang-related. And the shootings are not even related. The ones that we have had are separate incidents, except for, we believe, the first 3 that we had on the first of this year.
Any idea what the motive for those could have been?
I'm not going to speculate on motive right now. We're still heavy into that investigation, and I'm kind of like an old card player. There's some cards you just don't reveal it until there's time to throw them out.
So in the first 3 shootings, you said they are related, but they're not gang related.
We believe that they are related. We have not gotten any information as to them being affiliated with gangs.
None of the ones this year, you're saying, right, so far?
So far this year, we don't have any correlation of them being gang related.
Do you have any suspects?
You've been arrested 3. Oh, you're talking about just the
January 1st? From the January 1st?
The first 3.
Yes.
You do have suspects.
You have suspects in mind from the women shooting,
Yes.
but
No
identified?
innocent person. Well,
Suspects.
Not in custody, though.
No.
Okay. Any information that you can give on that, like on the suspects?
No, and I'll tell you why. We're still collecting evidence. We're still collecting information. And I won't do anything in this world, nothing, against bringing these people to justice by my lips or my tongue, because we did have some mamas killed. And I'm not going to divulge anything that's not necessary right now.
Okay, so we're talking January 1st, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's where the suspects are.
Right, okay.
Less a week and a half into the new year, 8 shootings. Is this a concern to you? Is this a trend? How would you classify what we're seeing thus far this year?
I don't classify it as a trend. I classify it as a concern. I'm concerned with this whole staff is concerned. This police department is concerned with every shooting we have. We don't take it lightly. We are out there to serve and to protect. And every time, not just shootings. I mean, we've got burglaries going on. We've got other incidents going on, and it's not just shootings. We take every crime very seriously, and we're going to do everything we can to bring people so that people know that they are safe here in the city of North Charleston. It's vitally important for us to work on everything like it happened to us.
Do you sense any frustration in the community?
Probably. I have not experienced any, nor have I been told about frustrations. And like I said, we have been meeting with community leaders to let them know that we are on the job and that they need to do what they can to be in those communities as well. I've looked at each family member, or most of the family members in these homicides and shootings that we've had. Now, not the Abwicks, but the homicides. I attended one of the funerals, and I've looked at these families, and I've assured them that we're going to do everything we can to bring these people to justice. Harv, you know me probably longer than anybody in this room as far as the reporters go, but we're going to bring people to justice on this.
Is there someone from your team here that would like to say something? You guys need to say something?
They're all free to say whatever they want.
Not that we don't appreciate what you've told us, Chief. If there's another element that you gentlemen may want to get out to the community, we've been out there getting video, talking to people, and things like that. Some of the folks we've talked with, they're nervous. They won't go on camera with us. We just want to.
I would imagine they are nervous. But one of the things we've got to stop doing as a community is we can only be better tomorrow about what we have done today. We can't. We have to increase and be better daily, and we have to do what's right by ourselves daily in order to not have these types of events. And we're still going to have these types of events. I'm talking about law enforcement and community. I have to set up things. This team, this police department thinks about where things are going to happen, and then we put assets on the ground in order to cover those things that have happened. And the community needs to do things like that and it's going to take. I think somebody has already quoted somebody by saying, it's going to take mamas and grandmamas turning in sons and daughters that are not doing the right thing. It's going to take some tough actions in order to do the right thing by people in the community and where they live. And we're standing by those people. But it's an ongoing situation that you can't just. We've got to do something now because of what happened in the past. We do, but we got to work harder on the future to stop things from like this occurring again. And that's what we do on a daily basis, and that's what that's why we partner with the community to make them feel better about where they live, to make them feel safer about where they live, and then partner with those people to go out in the community and make sure. And that's why it's important when I told you. I don't know that there's anything to add to the two homicides that we had and the first shooting on the first. That's why it's important for us to collect information from the community, have the community on board with us, but it's more important right now for us you to allow us to collect our leads, to do what we need to do to keep the community safe, and not to ruin any part of the investigation because of something I say too early.
Thank you.
When you say the January 1st shootings you believe were related,
Yes.
Does that mean then that they weren't random, that these people were somehow in a situation that made them have exposure to what happened?
We believe they were not random acts of violence, and I've said that. We do believe they were not random acts of violence. We know that they were not targeting the victims, and we believe that they are related.